Pickaxe.
Five-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, cast and crew. Welcome, cast and crew, back to Nocturne, A Curse of Strahd Tale. My name is Ryan McManus, and I will be your director for today. You can find me running the Cast Party socials at Cast Party D&D, or on my personals at Ryan.McManus, and I am joined by my lovely cast and crew, ready to burn down an orphanage, or something. We have Vince.
I'm Vince. I'm playing Theren, the man of hope seeking retribution. You could find me at whatever socials at Dr. Stoice.
And we have a Christian.
What's up, gang? It's me, Christian. Hi, I'm playing Tannis, a chain forged in blood. And you can find me on all my socials at Captain Carlson, either spelled captain.carlson or cpt.carlson. It's one of those two, so.
We have a singular May.
As opposed to multiple? I'm May, or May LaFay, on social media, and I'm playing Zielle, who is here to slay in all meanings of the word.
Back for his fifth introduction, we have Jose.
Hey everyone, my name is Jose. I'll be playing Alizzato, the best beard in Vallaki, or another soul wandering in perpetuity. You can find me on all socials at DMJoseG. Hopefully this is the fifth time or the sixth time, but it's not the last time. That's what matters.
Cheers to that. We opened on Theren and Z, who found a series of teeth. A shirt was in the way, but a row of teeth marks underneath. They spoke with Vanda, a teenage orphan girl, who spoke of night terrors and Miss Witch as answers started to unfurl. It must be the headmistress causing the bruising on the kids, but it wouldn't take long for T and Z to get to the bottom of this as we shifted to the boys, wrapped up in a chat, before being beckoned to the dining room to be fed after they sat. Though Jacob's soup wasn't all Tannis had hoped. Taste tests all around, Alizzato just couldn't help but choke. But that didn't stop Fiona from letting you in on her plan. After allegiances were sworn, she needed your help killing a man. A prophecy foretold of your group arriving, well, Zielle at least, but the rest of you would do just finely. A revolution of sorts, overtaking the Baron. A bomb to be planted, it should just be a simple errand. When the bomb goes boom, the Baron will be no more, but Fiona trusted you to leave Isaac's head on the floor. Moving back to the orphanage, T and Z barged in to the headmistress's office where Theren started grilling. You got some helpful info of a boy named Felix, an incident that occurred, and a locket, though she concealed it. Hidden in her desk, she handed it right over, a rune carved in the gold as you looked a little bit closer. You saw a portrait of Felix, with his parents inside, but blood-red X's were drawn over their eyes. You told Miss Belasco to wait with the children. You sat at the base of the stairs, trying to find the courage within. To ascend and kill a fiend, that Zielle's divine sense did learn. But as she held the locket, her palms began to burn. Cutting back to the boys, departing lunch with a bomb, an arcane device made by Ernst that could fit snugly in their palm. They made their way to the stockyard, but an attraction stopped them in their tracks. Isaac had ascended the stage in the town square and was met with smiles, cheers, and claps. A man was found with an unregistered dagger, so Isaac hung his head on a post, drew a line on his stomach with the knife as he grabbed his great axe and approached. A clean-cut swing, like a hot knife through butter, right through the line, as his entrails sputtered. The crowd cheered as he took his final bow, but the question I ask is, Tannis and Ollie, what will you do now?
As he's heading towards the street, as he's walking away, does it seem like there's a place anywhere nearby that would be discreet or hidden from view? Like, is there a spot at which he could walk through that would be okay if I engaged him here? Like, would there be less visibility?
Do I see Tannis doing the math?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think Tannis is being discreet with it necessarily. It would be a very clear, like, I am looking at Isaac and then sort of looking in the direction that he's heading.
I'll kind of like tug maybe like your sleeve or something that I sort of can like, and am able to motion you just so I can get your attention. From my green eye, there's just a single tear that's just coming down. But then my red eye is like this glowing ember. And I just hold your sleeve and I go, easy now. We'll get him, but we'll do it properly. I see what you're thinking. I see you processing it all. Not now.
Without saying a word, he'll turn to face you fully and then meet your eyes and say, what do? We just gonna let him walk? The others that we have need Isaac gone. And he's keeping his voice down, but you can feel it want to raise in volume, so he's kind of trying to keep it even-tempered. They can't fight him. I don't even know if we can fight him. They need him gone. This is what I do. I make problems disappear. Remember? We can either take Isaac off the chessboard, or we can stare at this, what used to be a man, and hope somebody else deals with the problem later.
I'll say in this moment, there is a absolute pause to him. He's looking around, he's looking at you, and he's looking at Isaac, wherever it is that he's going, but his eyes are more so fixed. Is the body of the person that got killed is still on the stage?
His hands are still tied up. His head is limp and slumped over his chest, while his legs lie on the stage. No one seems to be coming to clean it up.
I'm just focused on that. So kind of same. I got your attention. You were looking at me. Now you focus on me. I looked at you, but now I'm focused on the stage. I don't have a plan, but we have something. You have something. We have an idea. We have others that feel the same way we do. We just have to wait. We just have to wait for the right time.
Look, you're right. I don't think that we can chase him down in the street now and kill him. As much as I would like to, but I do think that we need a plan. That has to be our first priority. If we can't figure out how we're going to take him off the board, none of this matters. Tannis, for one of the first times, I think, in recent history at least, seems to be listening without waiting to give a response.
The plan is already laid. The festival of the sun is upon us. We wait, and when we have an opportunity, we will find it. But right now, to take him out like this will just draw more attention to ourselves. And look, Tannis, you don't go against him yet. Not yet. You keep yourself alive every second that you can, or else you just start all over again.
I'm sure that there are still people somewhat in the vicinity, but to like what extent are they? Like does it seem like anyone is paying attention to our conversation, or is everyone sort of like milling around absent-mindedly?
Everyone came for the spectacle. Isaac makes a big deal out of it. You can hear him screaming throughout the streets, and it's just a chain reaction. If one person leaves their house, you know the others are going to follow. Everyone basically dropped what they were doing to come witness, and now they are going back to their day-to-day lives, whether that's back to the store they own, back to the tavern to drink, or just back home with their family.
Tread lightly. You're right. The last thing we need to do is draw attention to ourselves. You can check on the man on the stage, but if it's clear that you care, that you're angry, or that you're upset, people will remember. There's no one up there but you. You'll be the only one. You're not exactly easily mistaken, Alizzato. Just tread lightly.
I pause and then make my way towards the stage. I was gonna go up. Now I kind of get down to on the ground level below the stage, but right in front of the remains of this individual. I'll stand there by myself looking, and then I'll just put my hand on the stage. I'm gonna look to see if I can make eye contact with any of the other citizens of Vallaki. Not show any emotion, just deadpan, but still just crying out of the one eye.
As you scan, I don't know if you clock it or not, Tannis will try to make eye contact and try to very subtly motion to like wipe the tear.
Look at Tannis, wipe my tear, and then I'll just sort of drag it on the stage. And then I just give a bright smile, ear to ear smile, and I look around to everyone, and then I make my way back to Tannis.
leaving that little bit of remembrance for the fallen. That tear staining the wood on top of the stage, you make your way back to the outskirts of the town square, where you get to Tannis.
I'm going to look at Alizzato as you're coming back, and I'm going to say very quickly 2 things. One, I'm going to go, okay, when I say wipe the tear, you're not supposed to make it a scene. We're not trying to be memorable. You've just looked at everyone in the courtyard, wiped your tear, and smeared it on the stage. If they're going to find martyrs, they're going to remember the guy that did that. Right? We don't do that. Gotta dial it in, Alizzato. Alright? That's 1. 2, might be time we made our way over to the stockyards and made this Festival of the Sun even more, radiant?
Don't tell me how I honor the dead.
I would never be so stupid as to tell you how to honor the dead. But the dead are gone. We are here. And you told me that we must live every second so that we may make it count. Alizzato, I would never tell you how to honor your dead. Trust me, that is an undertaking with no end, and I know it well, but for now, we have to be smart, or someone else will be figuring out how to honor us.
I just kind of nod. Let's go. We make our way to the Arosek stockyard.
It's not too far from the town square, just off the southeast path, some few houses down. And as you get to the gates of the Arosek stockyard, you know it to be wide open. Alizzato, you can see Rictavio's cart spokes peeking out of that bush in the very far back. And in the dead center, a large wicker sun. As we move to the orphanage. Theren and Zielle, you find yourself standing at the base of the stairs on the first floor of St. Andrew's Orphanage. Zielle, cupped in your palms, is the amulet given to you by Miss Belasco. This was said to have arrived on Felix's person. This amulet was also found on the body of Cedric. As you gaze upon this amulet, you reach out to Suni for guidance, a sign, a warning. As you're looking into the red X's over the parent's eyes, the amulet begins to burn in the palm of your hands as you sense the overwhelming presence of a fiend.
Well, there you go. It's a fiend.
What does that mean?
I never actually had to deal with one directly. I've only heard stories, but I don't know. I would say there's some kind of possession at work. Fiends are dark creatures. He may have reached out for help, possibly, as we all have, or at least you and I have, to something stronger than ourselves, but we don't know that he meant ill.
So what do we do in these circumstances? Do we kill the boy? Do we try to exorcise him? I'm at a loss.
Well, we have the amulet. I think we should find out how he is acting, maybe, without the amulet around his neck or around anyone else's neck.
You want it that close to the boy?
I'll hold it if you're scared.
I'll snatch it a little bit quicker from her.
You just stand behind me. You don't have to get as close to him.
We go. I'm just going to start walking up the stairs.
Okay, questions first, though.
As you ascend the stairs to the second floor, the hallway itself that you enter into has 6 different doors, most of which are left wide open. Only the single door at the north end of the hall is closed. There is also a hatch on the ceiling at the southern end of the room. The hallway's only window on the southern wall is broken and boarded up.
When we get to the top of the stairs, I would like to just stop for a moment. Take a quick listen to see if I hear any footsteps or, I guess, signs of life in any of the rooms.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, Theren.
16.
Ooh.
That's how we roll on this side of the party.
Listening in, just taking a moment, it is quiet. Even downstairs, after Miss Belasco went into the main area of the orphanage, huddling the children, they begin to die down. It is eerily quiet on the second floor until you hear some mumbling. It is very muffled, though high-pitched, but it's coming from above you.
She said she was trying to keep them separate, correct?
Yeah, but also that they're all sleeping up here at night.
What better way to keep him separate?
Up here in, like, the bedroom we walk past. I'm just gonna look in from the doorway and like make sure there's no kids or like anything like glaringly obvious, but I'm not like rifling through anything at this point.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check. As you're walking past the doorway, see if you can catch anything.
An 18.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Zielle, as Theren looks south towards the broken window and a long string leading to a hatch in the ceiling, you're making your rounds, you're going from one room to another, just peering your head in, trying to listen for any kids that might have been stuck up here, either taking a nap or just trying to find some alone time. No children, though as you peer into one of the rooms, you see carved into the bed frame, one of the posts at the foot of the bed, some sort of rune. And as you go to the next room, it clicks once more. And the next, and the next, on every single bed, on the same post.
Wasn't there some sort of runic writing on the amulet or something?
There was.
Does it match? I know it's something I can't read, but does it match that?
Let's do a religion check.
Uh-oh, I'm supposed to be good at this. 16 plus 2 is an 18.
Damn.
Killing it. It does not look to be the same rune. You can tell the angles aren't quite right, though it does seem to be the same language. You can tell the patterns, you can tell the sharpness of the angles. The carvings itself seem to be done by the same person, as well as written in this same language.
There are runes on each of the bedposts. It looks to be the same. Not the same sign, but the same dialect as the amulet. How long would it take me to, if I wanted to like use my dagger to like disrupt each rune, would that take me too long?
I don't believe it would take long. Adding any bit of extra lines or anything in any language changes the meaning of whatever the symbol means.
Hope I don't make it worse.
Oh, shit.
But even just a slash through it would technically disrupt the symbol.
I don't know if this is anything active. I don't really know as much as I would like to know, or not like to know about demons, but let me just, 1 second, and she'll take out her dagger and go start like scribbling.
It's easy enough for you to do as you walk through the rooms, pacing one after another. Even just a slight scrape down with your dagger just to disrupt the top, or taking a slash through the middle. You go around one by one, knocking out these runes. And you do, however, find one bed with not a single rune on it.
Is there anything else in this room? Like, would I think that this is Felix's room?
Nothing to denote it. Sadly, nothing here seems to be labeled. No names on the door, no names on the bedposts. Trunks don't have plaques on them. Very bare bones.
What are you thinking? What does this all mean?
I don't know. Barovia is a dark, dark place, it seems like. There's vampires and devils and demons around every corner. I don't know. Is this what's the biting of the children? That's what we came here for. And do you think it's related? Like, it seemed more animalistic. I'm not sure.
Those were all beds of the children, correct?
They looked like it.
You don't think the fiend is in the amulet, do you? Do you think that this is the source of everything?
It might be. The burning and the smoking would indicate that it definitely could be.
And you destroyed the rune on all the beds.
Huh?
Did anything occur?
No, you think we should just destroy the rune on the amulet?
I'll give her that now you're kind of catching on with what I'm thinking face. And I'll just pull my sword, scrape it on the amulet where the rune is.
This amulet is old. It is easily dentable, easily scrapable. And your sword is large. With one swipe, you are able to clear the rune right off the lid of this amulet.
When I open it, does it change at all on the inside?
It does not.
Perhaps we should get to Felix. We've disrupted what we could. Listen, Theren, I want you to protect yourself. If you are attacked, I trust you to protect yourself, but let's maybe give it a second and make sure that it's not just a child and we're holding the demon already.
As she says that, I'm going to reach up and grab for the cord and pull the attic open. And as I start going up, I'll just look over my shoulder. My heart is softer than you may believe. You can trust me.
Oh.
And I'll continue up the stairs.
Wait, you were supposed to stand behind me. Well, I thought about that.
Theren pulls the cable as a makeshift ladder begins to unfold, allowing you up into the attic. The attic is rather barren and otherwise choked with dust and cobwebs. There are a few piles of clutter. There are boxes stacked in a corner, but nothing of much significance. At the far end of the room, by the attic's only window, is a small boy, sitting in a lone rocking chair as he rocks back and forth, silhouetted by the incoming light from the window. You hear him mumbling to himself as the silhouette moves. He brings his hand up in the air, revealing the shadow of a large kitchen knife, as he brings it down into a wooden doll, carving at its features. As you hear him mumbling to himself, I don't know why everyone got so upset when they saw Cedric's body.
He only bled a little.
My parents bled a lot more, and I'm just fine. As he hears you all enter the attic, he turns over his shoulder to meet your gaze. You see a small red-headed child in ratty clothes, though as he turns, his eyes begin to gloss over, as if his pupils almost overtook every inch of his eyes, as the light from the window behind him seems to unnaturally dim. His skin begins to smoke, this black ink seeping from his pores, as he gets out of the chair, standing silhouetted by the light, and just says,
Leave.
Boy, sit down.
Why don't you go back down?
I'll step forward.
He wouldn't like it if you did that.
What do you mean by he? Oh.
Every word coming from the boy's mouth.
And who might you be?
Someone who shares a similar fate to him.
As the skin begins to smoke even more with each step closer that you get to him.
But you've chosen his fate for him.
I will not speak with you. Leave. This is your last.
Warning.
You will leave the boy alone. No harm will come to him. You hear me?
With the threat towards the fiend, the smoke begins to engulf Felix entirely as this black ink starts to pour from his eyelids. The last thing you see before he slumps over onto the ground is his elongated face as his jaw begins to unhinge as smoke protrudes and forms into this unnatural force. It's putrid and dark, wafting through the long arms, leading to these sharp claws as a sharp, gnarled grin comes over the demon's face, or at least what you can make of it, as this entity is entirely made of this black, thick smoke. As he palms the boy's head from behind, turns the boy's face to look at you. The boy is unconscious, but with an air of innocence over the boy's face, you can see him mouth the word help before he lets go as the child slumps over. And I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Ooh, okay. That's a 4?
I got a 4 too!
As the demon lets go of Felix's head, as he slumps over onto the ground, he looks back at you all, the two of you standing in his way from doing his job. As he peers over the two of you, Theren, he notices the chain hanging out of your pocket from the amulet.
That is mine.
As he, with an unnatural swiftness, begins to crawl along the western wall, sideways, leaving a trail of smoke behind him as it swiftly gathers back up, as he's going to come at you with these large, unnatural shadow
You're
claws.
supposed to stand behind me!
Theren, that is a 15 to hit.
Oh my god.
If I was in front of you!
Yeah, that hits.
Theren, that is 15 slashing damage.
Bruh.
Keep behind me!
Holy shit!
Theren, with this unnatural speed, he comes underhand and sinks his claws into you.
You dare to touch where I came from.
As he almost grips your insides with the claws deep inside you and rips out. You can see that your blood begins to pool in your stomach, though not red. It has taken this black, inky, unnatural form as it begins to seep down your clothes. That is the demon's turn. Theren, you are up next.
When he pulls that hand out, you can see that black and purple mist that's always emitting from Theren. One little strand just starts going from his fingertip all the way down his hand, all the way up his arm until it overtakes that entire arm. I'm casting Hexblade's Curse on him as a bonus action.
You can see that the outline, the shimmer of this smoke turns that significant purple. It's almost like he's outlined, he's highlighted. You're honed in and you're ready.
I'm gonna reach down to my side in pain as after that hit. With one hand on my side, I'll reach up with my right hand and grab my sword, and I'm going to, as I do, the mist starts to form, a thick form of it, almost like there's a hurricane surrounding it, starts to form around the sword, and as I bring it up, it starts to spin faster and faster until I slam it on the ground right in front of this fiend. It explodes in front of him. I'm casting Shatter.
Ooh, okay. What do you need from me?
A Constitution saving throw.
That's a 10.
13 is the save.
There we go.
17 thunder damage.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
God. Theren, as you grab this hunk of iron off your back and you swing down imbued with your eldritch magic, this shatter erupts. It breaks the boxes, breaks his entire form as he has to then re-encompass himself back to the demon that he once was, as the window behind him shatters completely. And he is not happy about that in the slightest. You can see that he starts to stagger a little bit more as he's floating through the air, but his eyes are locked straight on you. Zielle, you are up.
All right, I guess I will just flank it and try to grab its attention then. As I step up to it, I'm gonna pull the rosary that I have tucked away, or it's like rosary style symbol, out of my chest plate, and I'm going to say, "This ends here," and cast Turn the Faithless. It's my channel divinity. It's a wisdom saving throw.
7.
Oh!
As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each fae or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failure, they are turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage.
Ooh. A turn creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly. Okay, so it's somewhat
like
of a fear,
right?
It's somewhat of a fear.
Oh, okay.
Got it. So it doesn't get to remake saves. It is there for a minute.
Unless we attack it, yeah.
Damn.
Oh shit. As that action goes off and you present your holy symbol, the light coming from the shattered window begins to illuminate off of your holy symbol and shining in this demon's face as he puts his hand up and shrieks and begins to wisp himself back, crawling along the eastern wall, skittering up and down, back towards Felix, his slumped over body, using its full movement to get as far away as possible, though remaining in the attic.
Here, Theren, I'll put my hand on your shoulder. You'll feel those good old little magic tingles as I cast Cure. Oh, wait, no, sorry, I forgot. I have Lay on Hands. I'm gonna do that. Cure you for, I don't know, say 15 hit points.
Theren, you feel that warmth of Suni washing over you, that same sense that you felt back in the tent at Madame Ava's. You even smell that slight spice in the air as Zielle places a hand on your shoulder. A bit of reassurance and a bit of healing, which is much needed right now.
We have 1 minute until it attacks us again, unless we attack sooner.
Let's end this now.
We can attack together.
But what of this? And I'll pull out the amulet and put it on the ground in front of us.
Yes! Break it!
Together.
As the chain drips from your hand and the amulet sets on the floor, we are going to shift tones a little bit as we move back to the boys.
I say to Tannis, you know what I don't like? Kids. Specifically, demonic kids.
Tannis looks back and he goes, you know, it's so funny. I actually just had the same thought. But you know what would be awful? Is if there was a child that seemed innocent and then you realize just like a moment later, like, no, he's not innocent. There's like a demon involved. Wouldn't that be horrific? Wouldn't that be awful? Wouldn't that be the worst thing possible? Anyway, glad we're not dealing with that. Glad we're just in an empty, very peaceful environment where all we have to do is be slightly sneaky.
Ahead of you, in the dead center of the RSX stockyard, you do see, plastered in the center of 4 pallets, stacked around it so it does not move, you see the large wicker sun. It's about 10 foot in diameter. It is towering over the two of you, even in the distance. You can see it's made up of different sprigs, different twigs, large logs here and there. Bit hard to come across materials for this type of attraction. Alizzato, it's definitely more magnificent than anything the Baron has pulled in past parades. As you are gazing upon this wicker sun from the very entrance of the RSX stockyard, it's maybe about 50 feet ahead of you, you see from behind it, a guard begins to waltz into view, kicking his feet. That's a half-orc man in full plate mail, greenish skin with one singular tusk coming out from under his jaw, as he begins to circle the sun. Though the rest of the RSX stockyard seems to be empty.
When we see the guard, I'm going to turn to Alizzato and just say, like, as we sort of duck back into the shadows, right? Hey, so you distract the guard, right? You say you've lost your something or other, and then you give me the bomb. I'll get it planted. I'll get out of here. You don't have to worry about me. You just distract the guard long enough that I can plant it, right? Easy peasy.
All right. Easy peasy. I begin to kind of like chuckle as I make my way over to the guard. I'm keeping an eye on Tannis, but as I start getting closer to the guard, I completely disregard Tannis, and I'm just solely focusing on the guard.
Absolutely noted. And Tannis, what are you doing in the meantime?
I'm going to wait. I want to I guess it would be like in mechanical terms as if I was holding an action until the guard seemed to engage with Alizzato before moving in stealth to try and find a way to plant this bomb. So I'm kind of just waiting for the guard to sort of acknowledge Alizzato and stop patrolling in order to have an opening.
Alizzato, as you begin to approach the half-orc man, tall, about 6'5", long braided black hair, kicking his feet in the dirt as he mumbles to himself. As he looks up to you, I know it's supposed to be here.
At the RSX stockyard. You claim ownership of this entire place, or?
Well, I guess not the entire place, but can't come near this.
Near what? Oh, the fucking thing you have right there? I'm not interested. I actually wanted to come talk to you real quick.
Oh, listen, I'll take any sort of distraction to get myself away from this, so.
Right, exactly.
They got me guarding a fucking big ball of wood.
Big ball of... Did the Baron put you up to this? This is some fucking bullshit.
Finally, someone understands.
I just kind of like... Alizzato just very much like, oh, all right, well, this not that bad then. Okay. I just kind of like relax slightly and I go, all right, listen here. What's your name? Have I seen him before, like around town?
You might have seen him from time to time coming in through your normal gate to the west. This is Zielle. You probably haven't spoke with him, though from time to time he might have either patted you down coming in or just made sure your weapons are registered.
I don't think I've caught your name before, lad.
Zielle.
Zielle. Alizzato, at your service. Listen, crew, so you're spending the rest of your evening just guarding this tree? This fucking thing of wood, like you said? Seems kind of like a waste, you know? But look, I don't want to distract you from your purpose and the things you got to be doing tonight. I understand how much the Baron has his eyes on everyone, and I don't want a good lad like you getting in trouble.
Listen, it could be worse. I could be doing the night shift for this shit. Someone's got to be here at fucking 3 a.m. doing this.
Oh, yeah, no, I much rather would be literally doing anything else. Crew, help me understand something. Where's Tannis?
I was just about to say, Alizzato, first, I want you to give me a performance check.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, oh my fucking God. It's a 5.
Oh, Tannis, instead of advantage, I'm going to give you normal stealth.
Come on, Tannis, come on.
All right, come on, Tannis, come on. Come on. First of all, I would let me just say a prayer really quick. Just pause here. Here it is. Sune.
Praise Suni.
I'm begging you. Please.
Oh my fucking
Let's
god!
go, baby. That's a 23.
That's the power of God, baby.
Wow. That's
I
what we
love that.
like.
Tannis is just like, what does Zielle always say?
Tannis is just like, what does he always say? Something about Sune. Something about Sune. Sune, just like, let me not be here right now.
Tannis, you are wandering about the livestock area, keeping your corner eye peeled on Alizzato and Cruzal, and you notice him as he talks about being here at 3 a.m. and that bullshit. He lowers his head and kicks a rock just off into the distance towards the gate, and you use that immediately to slip into the shadows and dart your way around. And where are you headed?
I'm headed straight for, I would say probably the opposite side of this wooden structure. Enough so that I would have total cover from the guard. I don't want him to be able to see me, and I guess to my detriment, I don't want to be able to see him. But I'm headed straight to the other side of this wooden structure so that I can find a way to kind of measure how difficult it would be to cut my way into this and like plant the bomb.
You do have to do quite a large ring around the Aurosec stockyard. The Aurosec stockyard is more or less a large circle, so you have to go along the outer edge. You make sure that the guard and Alizzato are blocked by this wicker ball as you get low, and you begin to quietly make your way up. I would like an investigation check from you as Alizzato. Continue.
Crew, what's the Baron planning on doing with this pile of sticks here? Is it for something special? Another parade? Another showcase of sorts? What are we talking about?
I'm shocked you haven't heard. His thing's going up in a blaze of glory, apparently. He's your son.
Wow.
As he gestures slumpily to the wicker behind him.
So, look, I really am not one to take up the colors and, to protect the Baron and such and be that. But if one were to follow in your footsteps, I mean, is this what you wanted to do your whole life, or did you want to be something else? I'm a simple druid. I go where the breeze will take me. So I'm more interested in people. So sorry if I'm picking your brain and again discouraging you from your task, but you seem like a guy that's bored out of his fucking mind, and I seem like an old man that's interested in hearing from the youth.
It's funny, no one's ever asked me that before. I always wanted to be an artist. It's kind of hard to do when everything's gray.
Yeah.
Father was a god. Been in Vallaki forever.
Yeah.
And he passed, and I have to take up the household, so God bitch pays well.
Right. But, go back to the artist thing.
That's the funny thing. Being in a land without colors, really. I've wanted to express that there's beauty everywhere. I'm really good with charcoal. I like drawing with charcoal. You're so limited. You have to make something out of mundane. Gray.
Charcoal's good. Kind of like hesitate in my speaking. I go, I paint with charcoal.
You do?
Yeah, look, I'm not the most skilled when it comes to the free hand of expressionistic work, but I've dabbled here and there. But you're right though. Charcoal has this honesty to it. It just is what it is when you look upon it. Can lead to some really incredible possibilities if you allow the mind to wander, or if you allow yourself to be vulnerable to it.
So simple, yet so difficult. Tannis, what was your investigation?
17.
Tannis, though you are at the base of this wicker ball, peering through, it is hollow on the inside, as most wicker balls are. Not much structure to this. You see ribbons tied here and there, string spiderwebbed throughout. Even peering through, you can see the silhouettes of Alizzato and Cruzal chatting on the opposite side. There are open holes where you might be able to stick a hand in. There are others where, with the right maneuvering or a cut here and there, you could probably get up to your elbow. What are you doing?
Can I, and this is kind of an interesting question, so feel free to shoot me down, but is there a vibe that I get from the from the festival that I've seen as to whether or not it's necessary to go like elbow deep? Like, do I think, based on what I've seen from the festival that I was at, that people are looking that closely at this wicker ball, that if it wasn't deep enough, people would notice a bomb?
You know what? For funsies, let's do survival check.
18.
Tannis, your instincts kick in. The jobs you've been on previously, thinking back to the festival, thinking back even sooner to your chat with Fiona Wachter. She said all you had to do was place it. The Baron during the festivals does seem to be the big show, the main event, the spectacle, which he likes to make of his parades. His float was the most extravagant, and you can assume that the Blazing Sun is going to be pretty much the same. Now, this bomb is small, but you can assume with the attention to detail that the Baron puts in, you might want to make it somewhat inconspicuous.
With that, as I gather that information, as I land on that idea of like, okay, I got to make this something that he won't notice, and even if he does, like return to check it over before he goes to launch the parade, I'm going to try to do the deeper elbow deep. I'm just sticking it in there, right? The slight distraction, though, is going to be the conversation of art that's happening across the wicker ball, which is the one conversation topic that I think Tannis has, since everything happened for Tannis, right? And everything, of course, being intentionally vague. Since everything happened for Tannis, the last conversation that he's been exposed to in a long time is a conversation about art, about creating and drawing and things, about emotion and like representing them. That's something that's super important to him. So I think going forward, there'll be at least some level of distraction involved with this conversation, trying to produce beauty where there seems to be none. It's a vague enough premise that hits Tannis, I think, exactly where he is. But he's going to try and refocus his energy on cutting into this wicker ball and place the bomb in like sort of an inconspicuous location.
Let's do a sleight of hand check.
Yes. Okay. All right. Amazing. 19.
Let's go.
There we go. Tannis, as you find that perfect spot right towards the bottom, you can get nice and low, out of the way. You start to peel back one of the twigs right to its bending point. You can tell if you gave it any extra ounce of strength, you might get a snap. You might alert someone to your presence. And you're able to just get it open enough to reach your hand in, and you place the bomb in the near dead center of the wicker sun. You're able to grab a couple extra leaves that were just used to decorate the outside, place it presently over the bomb. You think, that looks pretty damn good. As you slowly reach your arm back out, and the wood goes back into place. The bomb seems to be planted and safe. And with that, we move back to the orphanage. The demon used its entire movement to run as far away from Zielle as possible, though still restrained to this attic. The only thing that I need during the demon's turn is a wisdom saving throw from Theren.
Opa,
No, that's my least favorite save.
Oh.
Swear to God, Theren.
18 sound okay?
Let's go.
That's our highest roller right there.
I'm going to ask you one question, Theren. Would you like to use your inspiration?
I'm gonna save the inspiration.
No damage is going to be done.
All right.
Though, Theren, the demon hits you with its claws. As your blood begins to drip from your stomach, from your exposed skin, you see it does indeed turn that black. And as it begins to drip and puddle to the floor, it's almost sludge-like as it starts pooling beneath your feet. And yes, it was a large wound from this claw, but it should not be running this much. You look down as it begins to encompass your vision. The wooden floor of the attic seeping with this black ichor until it is nothing but this ink-like liquid. As you see a large, looming presence reflected in the black ink, rising above the horizon. The attic is gone, Theren. So is Zielle. So is the demon itself. As your gaze rises from your feet, watching this blood pour from your stomach, you see nothing but a large black lake as far as the eye can see. You're standing just atop the water, though you feel nothing solid underneath your feet. And sitting in the center of this lake is a throne atop a large platform. Details of the throne are hard to make out, as a large, full blood moon hovers in the sky framing this throne, as a figure silhouetted in darkness unfurls its feathered wings. This being sits atop this hellish throne with 3 long arms, 2 on his right side gripping a large staff, and the other resting on the armrest. Though this figure is nearly 300 feet away from you, he speaks to you as if you were right in front of him, his voice almost flowing across the water before meeting your ears. Theren, it's so good to see you again. In my domain of all places. My, how you've grown since we last met. We've never had the chance to properly speak now, have we?
You. I have carried the burden of your fucking curse my entire life. And now you come to me in the middle of this. Why do you come now?
My, I saved your brother. And you think it a curse? What does that say about you, Theren?
What do you want from me?
Did you want me to let him die on the floor, bathed in a pool of his own blood?
What do you want from this?
Did you want me to leave his body for the rats? Maybe the man would come back.
Fuck you. Give him back.
You want him, Baron?
It's all I seek.
You know I can offer that for you, can't you?
And what, strike another deal? Turn me into a blade and have him carry me for the rest of eternity?
No. One life for another.
What life do you speak of?
That's where it gets fun. That is for you to choose. But it must be someone close to you. Just as Baron was close to you. One life for another.
How do you want it?
There's a place deep in Barovia, Argynvost Holt, Theren, where death clings to life. When you find yourselves in the walls of the dragon, I'll be watching you. A deal to be made, a bargain to be struck, one life for another. Let their blood bathe the floor, and from it Baron will rise, whole.
How do I know I can trust you?
Your brother's alive, isn't he? He's made it this far.
How do I know for sure? What if this entire thing has been a facade, this my entire life?
Baron, his body is not alive. His soul, very much so, as it resides in the sword that you wield. Though from the person's blood, he will rise physical, whole. I know what happened to him. His arm will be restored, as will his entire body. I offer you this deal. You do not have to say now, for I need no answer. The answer will come when you enter the halls. If it's what you want so bad, let blood bathe the floor. Take your pick.
What do you give me in return to gain my trust?
Nothing. Baron can remain in your sword for as long as you like. You seem to be disregarding our previous deal anyway, having no sense of care for your brother. You let an appendage fall to the floor.
You know not of my relationship with my brother. You know not of the love I carry for him and my family.
Yet you still use my power that I granted you. That is the price you pay.
Will you be there?
Oh, I'll be there.
Will you be there yourself? Your physical form will be there. Correct?
No. Think on it. Till then, do as you will. We've made our deal. and I'll just stick to that. Theren, as you see the blood moon sinks beneath the horizon, as the ink and the water begins to suck itself back into you. The entire lake, as your vision goes blurry, as you blink and shake it off, you're looking down at the floor. You see Zielle's high-heeled boots and the amulet resting in the attic.
Theren, we need to do this now. You ready? Theren? We're running out of time. I can do it. I'll do it if you are not...
We do it. We'll do it.
I'll put my hand on Theron's shoulder, and I'll say a quick little prayer to Suni. Suni, may your love help us stand against the wickedness. I would like to channel whatever energy I might into Theren to empower his attack. A little bit of a smite, if I might.
You may. Theren, what is your action?
I'm gonna hold the sword up towards the sky and have the pointed ends facing the amulet on the ground. And I'm just staring right at it. We'll bring you home. And I'll stab it down into the amulet.
Make me an attack roll.
12.
Theren, as you grasp both hands on your sword, you bring it straight down, though with much more force than you're usually used to. It's almost as if you have another set of hands pushing this blade down into the amulet as you hear the crack of the glass on the frame, the crunch of the wood underneath, and the scream of a demon as he begins to shriek and evaporate as a purple and pink energy goes down the blade, mixes together, and explodes upon impact of the amulet. And we are out of initiative.
Zielle, as I stab that into there, just both hands hanging on that sword, hanging my head down as well, and you can see tears coming down, landing on the floor.
You did it, Theren. Let's help Felix. I'm gonna run over. I know that Theren is at least not bleeding out anymore, or at least somewhat healed, so I'm gonna run to make sure Felix is okay.
As you run across the attic, you grab the slumped boy in your arms. You can tell he is breathing, though he does seem to be unconscious.
I think she's just like down on her knees, kind of like holding him in her lap, probably like petting his hair a little bit. Theren, it's done. You did it.
Theron's in his own world right now. He's repeatedly just saying to himself, I'll bring you back. You're coming home.
Theren, you're starting to sound like the boy who was mumbling demonic speech when we came up here. What's going on? It's okay. It's okay.
It's alright. It's done. How is the boy?
He's alive. And not stabbing anyone right now, so good sign, I'd say. I'll stand up and I'll just carry him over to where Theren is. Like, look, he's alright. He's a sweet little sleeping angel. You did this.
Stand back up and put the sword on my back. Grab the boy from your hands. Just take a good look at him. And take a once over and make sure that he's not hurt in any way.
Not hurt, sweating profusely, clammy to the touch, though alive.
I think we took care of the problem. And I think he will be safe.
Should we go check on the others? Let's bring him down.
Let's.
You seem quite affected.
I don't like seeing children be hurt.
Let's go see Headmistress Velasco. Give him a little pat on the back as I walk past him, and I'll climb down the stairs then. Oh, you might have to pass him down.
You safely get Felix down the makeshift ladder to the attic, and as you're walking through the hallway, making your way towards the first floor, you approach the staircase, and you see Miss Velasco peeking up. Though not too worried about you, she's more so worried about Milovaj, who is standing, though slumped over, and seemed to have been walking up the stairs, or at least trying to.
Oh, Millie, you're all right.
I heard an explosion, and everything got quiet. I could breathe.
Put my hand on his forehead. Is he still feverish?
The fever has gone down since the last time you spoke to him.
Amazing. I think we fixed the problem. Right, Theren? Felix is okay. He's okay now. I hope you understand that this wasn't his fault.
Miss Belasco, resting her hand on Millie's back. Are you sure? We just want to be careful going forward. If this is something that we need to worry about, or a recurring thing, it's best we know.
The boy is safe.
Thank you for doing whatever you did up there. The children are in the other room. They're still a little scared from the noises. But I want to thank you. Anything I can do to repay you. Do you need a place to stay? A room? Anything?
No, we have a place to stay, and we should probably be getting back to the rest of our party, but Milovaj, perhaps you'd like to accompany us to see the coffin maker?
He looks at you like he wants you to shut the fuck up. Maybe tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow would be fine. Can we find you here again? Or will you be at the church? Now that you're feeling better.
Maybe tomorrow. I'll definitely be staying here. Rest up and see how I feel in the morning.
Okay, it's just a lot more people are also in danger without those bones, so we want to protect them the same way we protected you and your family here. So as soon as possible would be great.
Miss Belasco, bones?
Oh, it's like the children, they use this like language. It's practically completely different from ours as adults, it's just, don't worry about it. We're happy to help. We were running an errand for the church, and I'm glad to see that everything is fine now.
Millie threw a smile, though gritted teeth. I'll see you in the morning.
All right.
At the church?
Meet you at St. Andrew's.
Got it. As he begins to hobble his way back towards the main room, towards his own room.
Get some rest.
As Miss Belasco, thank you again. Please, I think I have something here for you, at least as a thank you. As she scampers into her office and comes back out shortly after. Zielle, she hands you a folded up fan.
Oh?
Zielle, this is the dagger fan shield.
Oh?
You see 5 long spikes folded in on each other and connected with a thin yet protective white leather. When extended, this fan creates a handheld fan, with the golden spikes evenly spread out to create a half circle. This fan, when opened and held in your offhand, provides you the stats of a normal shield, +2 to your AC, though once per long rest, you can use your reaction to execute one of 2 maneuvers. You may choose to redirect 1d6 worth of damage to your opponent upon a hit by utilizing the sharp ends of the fan, or you may attempt to disarm your opponent by closing the fan and catching their weapon in it. This will require an athletics check against the target's strength/dex. However, this will close your fan, and you will lose your AC bonus until you can open it again with a bonus action.
I love this so much.
Wait, what? Why? This looks quite useful in combat. Why do you have this here?
It's just a fan. We can't sell it. No one wants it.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. It's just that.
As she gives her that, I'm going to walk over and just say, and I have this for you. And I'm just going to give Felix to her.
Oh, she takes the weight of the child. Wonderful. I'll get him up to his room and hopefully get him some sleep. Thank you again. I wish you the safest travels, and if you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to stop by.
Thank you.
And one more thing. Make sure the kids aren't biting each other.
That I can't promise. As she begins to walk up the stairs, Felix in tow. With that, we are going to do one more jump back to the boys. Tannis, with your arm emerging freshly from the wicker sun, almost crawling back, enough distance to where you know you can get to your feet and dart towards the corner to do your big loop back around. It does take a bit of time, but overhearing Alizzato chatting about the intricacies of charcoal, how you can shade properly, adding darkness here and lightening up areas there. You are able to make it back to the front gate where the livestock is, and you see Alizzato. As you guys make your way out of the Arasek stockyard, can I get perception checks from both of you?
14 for me.
I rolled a 15.
Both of you take note as you exit the gates of the Arasek stockyard, make your way back towards the center of town. Someone you haven't seen in a while, and Alizzato, someone you've never seen before. A hunched over old woman pulling a cart filled with pies. Seemingly lost, peering up around each corner, rubbing her face, burying her face in her hands. She just tries to head down another street.
Alizzato, do you like pies?
I love pies.
Old woman!
She peers over her shoulder in the direction of the shouting, nods and just puts one finger in the air, grasps her cart, and starts walking, shifting her feet very softly over towards you. I knew you'd be here, but you never said where. I have brought you payment, though not as much gold as I had hoped, so I brought you goodies instead, along with gold. She hands you a sack, a brown leather pouch, and inside is 27 gold. In her opposite hand, she hands you a banana cream pie, and inside of the pouch as well is a coin that does not look like the gold residing in the pouch, and a rock.
I asked for gold so you could keep your bloody windmill, and you bring me a rock.
I thought they'd be fun trinkets that I have gathered along the way. The last people seem to quite enjoy them. What they did with them, I don't know. But some people come and they need pies and they don't have gold, so they give me trinkets. So I thought, I can't give you gold. I might as well give you trinkets.
To be correct, Tannis, this radiant light before us has gifted us a very, very delicious looking pie and some, and I'm just kind of like licking my lips looking at the pie, and then I'm like, and some trinkets that are quite valuable. There are words there, boy. Can you not read?
I'll have more gold. I just need more time. Well, I might as well sell pies while I'm here, so...
Oh, you'll be here. You'll be in Vallaki. You'll stay for a while.
Maybe a day or two. If you want pies, come find me.
It's a big old, like, genuine grin in her direction.
Alizzato, the rock's calling to you.
Oh, yeah, and just kind of like holding it in my hand.
Alizzato, grasping the rock in your hand, you sense some form of energy coming from it. It has this greenish, faint glow to it, as you hear a very teeny tiny voice coming from just about where Tannis's boot is.
That old lady almost stepped on us.
I'll just kind of look at the rock, twirl it in my fingers, and I'll go, can I look down by Tannis's boots?
Down there is just two small dandelions creeping up through two little stones in the street. A small patch of grass with two dandelions just sitting next to each other.
Oh, and what about the coin? I'll pull out the coin.
The coin, when you reached into the pouch and pulled it out, was drenched in dried blood. You notice as you're twiddling it through your fingers while talking to Alizzato, some of this blood, though dried, is now seeping into your skin. Tannis, this is your magic item. This is the blood-drenched coin. This is a coin bathed in blood with the demonic rune carved in the face of it, meaning kill. This coin allows use of your Crimson Rite or your Vital Sacrifice once per recharge without taking the HP hit yourself, as the blood from the coin is used instead.
Wow!
When rolling for damage with your Rite or one of your Vital Sacrifice perks, you have the option to gamble and re-roll your damage die, though you must take the second option. The coin, however, must be soaked in the blood of something that you got the killing blow of in order to recharge, or else the next use of your Crimson Rite or your Vital Sacrifice will be subtracted from your max HP until long rest, or until you soak the coin once more.
Wait. It does what? I am about to be a problem. This is so sick.
I'll just kind of like get on my knees. The dandelions are still there.
Oh, yeah.
And have I seen dandelions before in these parts?
From time to time.
Then I'll just kind of like look down and I'll go, aren't you precious? And I just kind of like look at the dandelions and I take a small, very, very small bite.
It is sweet and sugary, and as the whipped cream gets all up in your beard and your mustache, you're looking down at this rock, and Alizzato, this is terra firma. When clutched, this rune allows you to cast an upgraded version of Speak with Plants, called Speak with the Land. It is a 3rd level spell. You imbue plants within 30 feet of you with limited sentience and animation, and giving them the ability to communicate with you and follow your simple commands. You can question plants about events in the spell's area within the past day, gaining information about creatures that have passed, weather, other circumstances. Casting this spell also has one additional bonus. Rolling a straight wisdom check, you are able to gather a memory from one individual that has touched the land you currently reside on within the last 24 hours. The higher the roll, the clearer the memory. You may attempt to gather a memory from further in the past, but doing so will require a disadvantage roll. And the further you try to delve, the higher the DC.
Ooh. I'll still kind of hold the rock and then subject my mind and my soul to the deliciousness that is this pie. But then I'll kind of like look at the rock and then I'll look back at the dandelions and then I go, who sent you here? Beautiful looking thing.
All you hear in your mind back, Alizzato.
The wind. The wind.
Beautiful. I get up, clutch the rock, wipe my hands in my leaves. Little snack for later.
With magic items in tow and facefuls of pie for today. That's a wrap.
Nice.
Dude, I'm literally over here looking at where I can get banana cream pie Grubhub Trump.
Thank you all so much for listening. 2 crazy stories happening at once, and God, I can't thank y'all enough for being here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for being such an incredible cast with your fantastic characters, roleplay, everything. I am having so much fun. And I hope you are as well in the cast, and I hope you are as well at home. We will see you in 2 weeks. Hey, if you want early access 5 days early, patreon.com/castparty. Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
All the banana cream pie places are closing at 9, which is in 10 minutes.